Hi, I'm Jessica.
And I'm David. Welcome to episode 4 of the Singer's Soapbox.
In this episode of the Singer's Soapbox, titled Why So Tense, we will be talking about how to avoid unnecessary vocal tension.
Unnecessary tension is probably one of the singer's biggest and worst enemies. So our muscles that control our singing are actually very small and actually pretty weak, and surrounding them are all of these neck muscles, okay? And the job of these neck muscles is to keep our head, which is pretty heavy, balanced on top of our skull, all right? And those muscles are actually a lot stronger than the muscles that control our singing. So what happens is when we engage those muscles around our singing mechanism, around our vocal folds, the neck muscles can actually interfere with what's happening when we're singing, and we call that unnecessary tension. And as singers, we want to try to avoid that.
Absolutely. And you see this a lot in pop singers or really popular artists. And really, so I'll give an example before I go on. You'll see them stick their jaw when they go, ah, and they'll shake their head or something. All of it, bottom line, it's just for show. It's completely unnecessary. So when you see somebody doing that on TV or at a live performance, they're really just trying to make the way they look more interesting in a lot of sense. You don't need to stick your head out or raise your head really, stick your jaw out or raise your head really far or lower it to hit any notes. It's not necessary at all. In fact, it's actually gonna inhibit your sound in some ways. And if you even just sit there and you just try to raise your head, you can kind of feel like your neck's tighten up in some areas, like especially like around your vocal folds. And if you bring your jaw down like this, there's also some tension that you can feel. You can feel your muscles working. And that's totally normal, and that's great for when you're raising your head and lowering your head. But when it comes to singing, you don't need to do it. It's extra, as the kids like to say. So sometimes I'll see this a lot in my students. They'll try to mimic this. And so I'm a very big, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but I'm very big on having the kids or adults, whoever it is, of my students, look in a mirror when they are singing. If I see their jaw moving at all, like if they're doing a simple exercise, if they go, ah, I'll say, oh, why are you moving your head? And then they're like, well, I didn't know I was doing it most of the time. And then you give them, if you hand them a mirror and you say, I need you to watch yourself, and did you notice how your jaw is twitching when you're singing, when you're moving up, or did you notice how your head is moving? And that's just a simple way for them to correct themselves. And I think you were going to talk more about that.
No. You covered it,
covered it.
I guess I'm not going to talk about it. But, I mean, we could demonstrate, too. I don't know if it'll come across very well in the video, but if I just sing a tone and I move my head up and down, you're probably going to hear a change in my voice. So I'll start in the middle, and I'm going to move up and down, and we'll kind of see if you hear a change. And I don't know if it, like I said, if it came across in the video, but I definitely felt a difference. And did you hear a difference?
There was a change in tone, like whenever you're at your highest point with your head and at your lowest point. There's definitely like a change, and it could be because your mouth is like changing shape too. But a lot of it, I think, has to do with what you're feeling and what's going on in your neck right now.
Yeah, and just to be clear, we're not saying that when you sing you can't move your head. That's to stay in one place. It's just that a lot of times the movements that we develop are habitual, and we end up engaging tension when we do them. Like, for instance, let's say I was going to sing the first part of the national anthem, and I did this particular thing. I might look like this. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? And it's going right with the pitch, and I felt tension in my neck when I was doing that, and it was all tied to that. So sometimes when we're working with students, if we can address those issues, we can get them to free their voice up and sing with a lot more relaxed tone.
And that's the ultimate goal. You want to avoid tension at all costs, because tension is really just your enemy. And whether it's from a mental aspect of, approach, or it's just physical, like a habit you've developed, it's bad. So you just want to eliminate it altogether. And sometimes you don't even realize you're doing it, like we said. So it's best to work with a vocal coach or a vocal instructor to really hammer that out and eliminate it. And you might find that it takes a while. Some people, like, you can tell them to do something and they'll get it right away. But sometimes it takes a while to hammer out those things. It's because it's easier to do something that you've been doing your whole life, the whole time, than it is just when someone tells you to correct something. Sometimes it's hard to get yourself out of that mindset and retrain your brain. So that's why, like I've said in previous videos, I'll start my lessons with my students just making a lot of noise with their voice and just vocal exploration exercises, just to kind of train their brain a little bit and get them to free up their voice and to put their head in a different space, because a lot of singing and a lot of what we do is just, it's mental. I would say probably it's 90% of what it is.
And a lot of it is like we're trying to break bad habits, and the only way you're going to break a bad habit is if you do it in a different way over and over and over again. And unless you're getting some feedback on it, you're probably just going to slip back into doing it the way you've always done it. So that's why, like we said, studying with a teacher is very important. But as far as like the movement thing, if you notice yourself doing that and you want to work on your own, you can sing in front of a mirror and just try to keep yourself from doing that. Or if you want to do a Facebook Live like we're doing, you'll see yourself doing it too, and then everybody else can watch too. That might be kind of fun.
A little embarrassing. If you have anxiety, I don't recommend it. But anyway, so that about wraps it up, I think, as far as our little discussion this evening. So if you have any questions, or you want to learn how to get rid of tension in your own voice, and if maybe you notice yourself moving your head around a little too much and engaging that tension while you sing, and you want to correct it, then check us out at dynamicfineartsacademy.com, or give us a call. And you can find all our contact information on the website or on Facebook. Follow us on Facebook, like us, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube. And am I missing anything? I feel like I'm always missing something. But we're everywhere. So we're looking forward to hearing from you. And if maybe vocal lessons aren't your thing, we have lots of other lessons to offer as well, like guitar and woodwind lessons and brass lessons and piano lessons, and we have some very amazing instructors.
We do.
Also, you should check out our video. We did another Facebook Live this morning with our guitar instructor Mason, and he has some really good stuff to say, so check that out too if you have a chance. And otherwise, this is David and Jessica signing out.